Hello everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. In this episode, I am going to focus on two distinctly different styles of trapping beaver. Stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. One thing that you'll hear a lot from trappers or from watching trappers on YouTube channels is the saying to set on sign. When you're trapping beaver and you're looking for sign, that will include obviously a beaver lodge, a beaver dam, runs, branches or little trees that have been chewed down and floating in the water. And so in this first part of this video, I'm going to show you how I set on sign. This particular area that I'm going to is in the middle of the Hiawatha National Forest, and I found it while scouting about 3 months ago. The hard part is that it takes a bit of effort getting there, but that's also what makes it the most rewarding. All right, so we're at this first lodge, and there's two more lodges across the lake that we're gonna get to, and there is some fresh sign. So all of this right here, this is all fresh chewing. And so when you are setting a lodge, what you want to do is you want to take a look around and you want to try to find their runs. And it didn't take long as I was paddling to find their first run. I'll try to do this without like disturbing the water, but you can see right in there is a run that goes underneath up into that lodge. All right, so that run is obviously going to be a place in which we're going to put a 330. And you can tell this is pretty active because there's some fresh mud right there. You can see some fresh mud right there where they've been working on their lodge. On the back side, you can see a lot of, there's tracks in here. They're coming up and they're packing this side with mud, and they're getting this ready for winter. You can see there's just a lot of activity on this lodge. All right, so now I've got my 330 on my H stand. I've got it set right in the center of the run. And now I'm gonna take some of these sticks and I'm gonna kind of block off the rest of that run. So when that beaver comes either in or out, it's got like one shot, and that's to go right through the middle. And that's where I'm gonna have my 330 set up. a good set. That's a good set. I'm gonna go set that second run, which is just on the other side, and we're gonna get that one ready to rock and roll as well. So okay, so we have finished setting up the first lodge. Again, when you are setting on sign, there's not a whole lot of creativity to this. You just need to find their runs, and this time of year it's pretty easy to find them, and they lead right into the lodge. And all you need to do is get your conibear set so that the only way they can go through is through your trap. All right, so we paddled across the lake, and that other lodge is right there, but it did not appear that there was anything living in it. There was no runs, no sign of life. But I paddled down the shore a little bit, and you know, one step off into this water and I'm gone. It's just an abyss. But you can see up here, the beaver, they're coming up and they're bringing mud up here, and they might have like a bank den right down in here, or perhaps something that goes, you know, underneath the water, going, you know, out here and then down into here. And so this area is a good area to set. Now it's going to be tough for me to get a 330 in here, just because there's no real run. There's you know, I guess I could kind of make a little indentation, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a drowner set. So I'm going to put a caster mound right here, and I'm going to bed my trap right there. And because this is just an absolute abyss out there, I should be able to get that rod down deep enough so when they swim in and they step on the trap, when they go to swim away, they head down into the abyss of death. So all right, you guys, I wanted to show you this because you should never take for granted water depth when you are trapping beaver, especially in these muddy areas. You know, when I paddled in, it looked like there was only 6 to 8 inches of water, but you know, this is a 10-foot rod. And I can just keep going. So my point is, you know, don't go jumping out of a boat or a canoe just because it appears to be shallow. That would not be a good idea. All right, so to get this set in, I got to try to get my rod down. And again, this isn't always easy because there's really no depth to that bottom. All right, for this set, you can see where the beaver are swimming up right here. They're bringing in mud. I mean, this is all fresh mud and sticks, and they're coming up here. I think they might have a little bank den where they're swimming underneath. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my drowner sets here, and so when they come up and they step right here, they're going to get whacked, and then they're going to swim away, and they're going to head right down this rod, and they will not be able to get back up. Make a nice area for the trap bed. Right there. Oh, that'll be real nice. That'll be perfect. There we go. There we go. Try to get that just underneath the water if I can. I'd like to get it down there a little bit deeper. I don't really want that being visible, if at all possible. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to make a caster mound right here. They're going to come up to sniff that, to kind of explore what that is. And the bridger will be waiting for them. I don't really need to overthink this too much. Kind of make this look like a caster mound here. And I'm going to use some of my own lure. Bark River Beaver lure. It's just a caster based scent. Worked great last year. Oh yeah. Still's got that magic. Right there. And I got a few freshly chewed sticks that I took from the Beaver Lodge over here that I'm going to place up here for some eye appeal. And that's how I set this kind of area. All right, we're back for our first check. All right, we're coming up to the first lodge, and I'm pretty excited. You know, there's a lot of activity at this first spot. We were able to get three 330s set in runs. We're gonna get up to this lodge and check our set, see what we got. All right, I can see right there. I've got a kit, small beaver in this trap. All right, and in the second run, I got a muskrat. Ugh, a muskrat. Not what I wanted, but still pretty cool. All right, and in the third run over here, I can see I've got a miss. The trap is fired. Well, the trap is fired, but the springs aren't all the way open. So I something must have malfunctioned. I'll have to take a look at that. I'm going to get these three reset and get moving on to the next spot. See, I can see right now I've got one. I don't know what happened. I'm going to be really pretty anxious to see what happened there, because the run is right there, and you know, the beaver is over there a little ways, but nonetheless I know I got one. And this over here, I don't know, it looks a little crooked, so we might have gone 2 for 2 on this lodge. Let's go check it out. All right, my bad, I was wrong. I do have that trap right in the right spot, right in the run there. You can see the run is right here, and yeah, right there he is. Nice one. And let's just kind of sneak over here. This is the H stand that I thought was a little kitty wampus, but oh yeah, and that's the reason why. We went 2 for 2 over here, guys. nice big beaver. Look at that guy. Oh yeah. Great big beaver. All right. Oh, yeah. That's a nice one there. Yep, that's a real nice one. All right, we're gonna get this run reset, and then we'll go take care of that one real quick. All right, I'm gonna get up on shore here and kind of work my way around. It's a lot more stable up here. I would like to not fall through. That would be a, hey, look at that, you guys. Got one. Yeah, I got one on the drounder. The set worked perfectly. Look at that. All right, 5 beaver day. But you can see, look at this, you can kind of see now that things aren't all disturbed. It looks like right there is the entrance into the bank den. And right there is where it comes out. And I think what they're doing is they're trying to build this up. Maybe make a new lodge over here. I don't know. All right, front foot catch. Let's see here if I can't get this up a little higher for us. There we go. Yeah, we got a front foot catch, and you know, the set worked perfectly. You know, I put a little caster, some of my homemade caster, right here on this little entrance in, and oh, look at it, still that caster bait is still there. I'm going to reuse that, and I'm going to get this reset and see if I can't get another one. Oh. All right, let's see if I can't get this reset, and we'll get out of here and check again tomorrow.